Well, look, I suppose we should start with news on Jim O'Brien after the other night. What's the news with him?
Well, I can't really tell you too much, unfortunately, because he's having a scan later today, and that should reveal much more. And then we can start to work out roughly how long we think it would take Jim to be back to to playing.
Are you hopeful it'll be weeks, or are you a bit worried at this stage?
I'm very hopeful. I think there's already uh, some some sign that it could certainly be worse, and I'm pretty sure that Jim will be doing everything correctly. So that gives me optimism.
Um, that was the one sort of downside of the other night, really, wasn't it? Because everything else it seemed on the night, from your point of view, it seemed to go swimmingly.
Yeah, I thought we started the game in a brilliant fashion. I was really happy with the first half an hour was really I was very very pleased. I think the first 45 was very good. I did feel like we could have controlled the game more in the second half. I think that Wrexham created some very good chances, which made me feel uncomfortable. Um, but the guys stood up to everything that was thrown at them. And Wrexham, of course, are a very, very good team with very good, very experienced management team behind them as well that I know well. And so, yeah, I think it was a really great night. Yeah.
I noticed Phil Parkinson after said he thought that you should be pretty thankful that you hadn't conceded more goals in the last couple of games. I wonder if you would agree with that verdict.
Yeah, I agree. I think that we've given up uncharacteristically given up chances that we've not been giving up at all. But of course, you have a goalkeeper for a reason, and when all else fails, the goalkeeper is allowed to get you out of trouble. I think the goalkeeper for Wrexham has kept them in a few games, and I think that he made some big saves against us. There's some efforts from inside the penalty box that ordinarily would probably go in as well. But no, I think it's true that we've given up more opportunities in the last two performances than I would be happy with. I expect Wrexham to create. I thought that we could have done a better job of keeping Altrincham at arm's length, but yeah, we have given up chances, but we've also won both of the games and conceded one goal in the two games, so it's not a terrible return.
I wonder how important that is for you as a head coach after you've just won a game and gone top. That actually you work to focus on the things to improve, just so that nobody's getting too carried away with how things are going.
Yeah, we had a meeting as we always do this morning, and we had a meeting on Wednesday immediately after the game. The staff worked very hard to turn the game around in a very short space of time. They're already at work before they leave the stadium on Tuesday night, so it was no different in that way. And we showed the players some of the things that were a problem. We try to use the small amount of time that we have to try to address some of the issues. But we will only see tomorrow how the guys react in the game.
What has it changed from your point of view with not going top of the table? What does it change, if anything?
For us, it changes nothing because we only need to really worry about the performances, and if we perform really really well on a regular basis, then we will win a lot more games than we lose. At this moment in time, at this moment in time, we have the luxury of if we win all our games, we cannot possibly be caught. That's that's the only thing that is changed. Is that before the Wrexham game, if we won every single game except for the Wrexham game, then we still can't win. But now we're in a position where mathematically we have our own destiny in our own hands. But no, we need to concentrate just on performing really, really well and try to iron out the problems as they come.
It gets you talked about, doesn't it, as well? It gets you noticed a bit as a football club, even if you're second, third, fourth is one thing, but somehow being at the summit is perhaps what gets the recognition from outside, do you think?
Yeah, I think that's fair, and I think probably um, the some element of laziness involved in that is like, okay, the team at the top. We talk about the team at the top, but I think like if I give you an example for if you look at the Premier League, the team probably, of course, Arsenal and Manchester City, but if you look at what Brighton are doing, is really the team that everyone should be talking about, and that's not often the case, and it's natural and it's very easy to talk about the team that are at the very top, but no, we need to just ignore that type of attention. It doesn't mean anything at this stage, and really concentrate on trying to be the best team we can be.
Yeah, I do completely agree with you on that. It's often when whoever's won the league, the manager gets the manager of the year, but actually somebody could have finished fourth with a budget, a tenth of the size, and they
Yeah,
don't quite get the recognition in that
yeah, it's
sense, do
not
they?
fashionable, and it's not as exciting, But there are managers and teams in divisions that on paper are completely outgunned, and they perform 4, 5, 6 places above where they should be. Often the team that are at the very top are performing 1 or 2 places above where they should be. So it's unfair in that way, but it's just completely human nature. It's very natural.
Well, speaking of which, actually, play a team of it surprised me a little bit when I looked at the league table and saw where Woking were really because they're a clear team I'd not particularly noticed winning. Every week they've been a little bit inconsistent this season, but they've won a fair few matches this season and sitting up in what seventh place or something just at the moment. So clearly a threat.
Yeah, and they actually should be higher. They actually should be higher in the league table because of how well they've performed. And if you watch them like we have, it's very clear why they're doing well, because they are ferocious, and we need to be ready for that because they're as tough an opponent as we will face in this league for sure.
And how I wonder what you want to get from your players after so many played well the other night. Is it about that focus for the next game that they carry that on?
Yeah, and we have to find energy in the body because of the huge toll that the game took on them physically, and of course the game on the Saturday before, many of the same players again, and we have to find that same energy to be able to harass our opponent, and then also to be able to build up and arrive in the box as well. So it's a huge task for us to go again, but Woking have the same type of problems that we have. They'll have sore bodies and tired minds in their dressing room as well. So it's going to be a very tough game, I'm sure, for both teams.
Thank you, Ollie.
Hi, Luke. You've spoken about Jim, and that was probably the only negative from Tuesday night. But how much of a positive was it to have Geraldo coming back in? I thought he was superb when he came on. How would you assess his performance?
Yeah, he was excellent. I think that what Jim gives the team is unique because of his ability to read the situation, and very, very much in a similar mindset to myself, and is able to help several players around him to perform well. Is really an amazing skill that he has, and to perform so well as an individual as well. But then when Badge went onto the pitch, the thing that you see immediately is that the power that he has, the ability to drive forward with the ball. He's a destroyer as well as a creator. If we can try to blend a few of Jim's traits that he brought to the team and try to attach those to Badge's game as well, he's a young player that has got huge potential, and that's very exciting for us.
And then just speaking on a few more injuries, obviously Aidan and Joel still are they still in training? Are they close to returning at all? Or
They are, and the fans will be so happy if they could see the guys today. I would love the fans to be able to see both of those guys today because they killed themselves in training. They left the training pitch completely destroyed because they're doing everything that they can. They're getting close now. Both guys, of course, with real physical capability, and so we have to push, and they have to push themselves so hard to get back to where they have been because their peak is very high, but they doing everything. So I think we're going to see those guys on the pitch in very near future for sure.
And then ahead of Saturday, what's been the key message to your players? Because obviously you've just gained top spot and you want to stay there. So what's been that key message leading up to the fixture?
That the things that have put us at the top for this moment, we must not forget those key things that put us there. We must not lower the standard from that. I think we against Altrincham we did, and we got away with it, and that can't happen again. And listen, Altrincham are a very good team, and they posed problems. It's not about that. It was about the physical output of the players. It was about the intensity of the running, and it was the pressure that they applied to the ball wasn't correct. And thankfully they turned up in a great way on Tuesday, and they have to now understand that they have to go again because you will not get away with dropping your performance level very often.
And then just finally from me, Luther Munakandafa was put in a brilliant performance for Basford in their FA Cup qualifying round. Have you managed to speak to him whilst he's been over there?
Yeah, he still trains with us on a couple of days in the week. Luther is very talented with the ball, and we know that, and we're happy because he needs to go and express himself. But he also needs to understand where that 100% lives, the requirements of being a regular first team player. He needs to understand that, and slowly he can get there. So it's a good loan for us and for him, and we're happy that he's doing well, and we hope that he can add some things to his game and come back to us and show us that he's more capable to play in the first team.
Cheers, Luke. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Ollie. Quick one from Notts TV. You've got a minute and a half.
Yeah, quick. Obviously, there's been a lot of praise for the fans. Tuesday night, there was loads of fans there. It's a long trip for them tomorrow, though. Have you got a message for the fans that are making the trip and that are travelling with you?
The only message is thank you, honestly, because Tuesday night was special, was so special, and we know, like for example, when they came to York, for sure it put energy in the legs of the players, no doubt, and the boys made a brilliant performance, and the extra player was the fans. That was clear, and so again, thank you to them for coming to support us tomorrow, and we're going to need them tomorrow even more than ever, for sure.